So this is my Work Sharp precision sharpener. It's $49, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why I got it and what my hopes were, and then kind of what turned out to be not so great about it, and then what I'm going to do to still be able to use it. So, and I'll change the camera and zoom in a little bit whenever I start to sharpen this knife. But what I liked about it was when you see these guys doing chef knives, and they're really getting precision sharpening edges on these chef's knives. They're using these deals that clamp on the edge of a table, and I thought, well, you know, I've been super happy with my other Work Sharp products, and this seemed like a better system, and it seemed like an upgrade. But even though it's more robust looking, the plastic has got some flex to it, and so that's not real great, and I'll show you why. So what this does well, and what I wanted it to do was chef's knives like this Victorinox. This is what I wanted it to do, and this is what it does not do well. Because whenever I put this knife in here, you're limited by this rod right here. And so that's how far you can get out away. And secondly, the further you get away from this part right here, the more flex it's got. So it's leveraging, when you're pressing down on this out here, it's leveraging that length. The other thing is when you've got knives that are real heavy. So this knife's real heavy. When you unfold it, all the weight is out here. These ends being stainless like they are, the body of the liner being stainless, everything, whenever you clamp it down, I'm not going to clamp it in there, but this taper gives it a problem, and then this weight gives it a problem. So I haven't tried this knife, but you would definitely not want to do something like this bushcraft. This is a Tops knife. This knife, the spine on this knife is almost a 1/4 inch thick. So there's no way it wouldn't even fit into these little, it wouldn't even fit into those jaws. This clamp right here. So these are out the window. And what I'm getting at is, if you want a sharpener that's a do-all knife sharpener, this is not it. I've got a feeling another knife sharpener system that I just got is going to be that way. But until I have it set up, I'm just going to talk about some of the pros and cons on this particular sharpener, and why I decided I'm going to have to probably go to a different style sharpener. So this right here, this is all that seats in there, that much, with these little magnets. And that's how you do your change and to go from side to side. What I wanted to do with it also was I wanted to sharpen broadheads, but you cannot, because of the ferrule, you can't get enough bite on it. So this sharpener is really kind of a specific, you can do specific things with it. For these type of broadheads, this was $49, but there's cheaper things like this little Stay Sharp. You clamp this on here and it's not going anywhere. Problem is you can't adjust the angle like you can with this. So the idea of this is great, being able to change the angle. It also moves a little bit. So I think for these broadheads that I shoot out of my longbow, my recurve, I'm gonna stick with something like this, or the other method I have coming. The other method that I'm gonna set up is I'm gonna take a grinder or a buffer maybe, and I'm gonna put paper wheels on there. So I've been seeing a lot of videos about paper wheels, and I had to make a little handle that I'll be able to hold these with. And I'll probably use a big thick set of leather gloves when I do it. It's more dangerous, but I think it has a broader range of blades that and edges that I'll be able to work on that. So I'll do that. I'm gonna talk about that in a different video. We're not gonna talk about that right now, but I just wanted to show you for broadheads, this might not work either. It's not gonna work for big chef's knives. It's not gonna work for your bushcraft knives that have a real thick spine on them, a real full tang that are heavy metal. It's not gonna work on blades that have a lot of weight to them when you get them out. So what it works on is pocket knives like this one. So this is my Kershaw Leak. This is my favorite pocket knife. I've carried this thing forever. It's got a straight edge. That's better for this sharpener, not necessarily better for pocket knives in general. There's a million different blade edges, blade angles, but this doesn't excel at things that are real wavy. So where you're having to try to get contour blades. Straight blade, lightweight, thin pocket knife. It goes right in there, and you want the length of blade you're going to be working on, you want to kind of get that centered up, and you want to clamp down on it as best you can. And now I've got this set. I'll talk about one more issue that I think. So that snaps in there with a magnet, and these stoppers are your stroke length. So you want to set them. You want to set these two rubber stoppers to adjust the length of stroke. And you're just going to go, I just push downward. I guess you could push upward. But I'm only putting pressure whenever I'm on the downward side. So you'll need to have a Sharpie, mark your edge, of course, so you can see. You're going to recut the bevel on your blade. I've got this set to 25. 15 and 20 is going to be like on your razor blade edges that you're cutting vegetables with, cutting things, tissue, light stuff, not anything you're cutting through heavy duty stuff or cartilage or anything like that. This is just like slicing tomatoes, slicing up, celery, onions, things like that. 30 degrees is too much. 30 degrees is what I would put on, I don't know, a machete in my world. So I'm going with 25, it's probably a little bit under that, honestly. But this is just a pocket knife. This is gonna be like cutting tag ends off of stuff, rope. I might be cutting fishing line with it. And since the factory puts pretty steep bevels on pocket knives, because they're concerned about edge retention, they're not trying to sell you something that you can shave hair with. You're gonna have to probably reprofile most knives, but I'm gonna change the camera and bring it in here close and talk more about that. All right, so this is a little bit closer in, and what you can see here, there's three sides to this stone. There's 320, there's your ceramic stone, and then there's your 600. So you want to start on the 320. That's upside down, but you're going to start on the 320 diamond stone, and you're going to reprofile with that. So like I said, you're just working down, and you can see how much this flexes. So it's not going to be that precise, but put light pressure. And the whole time you're checking to make sure this bevel, you can see that bevel, it's symmetrical. You don't want any spots here where it's showing more bevel or any spots where it's shallow and showing less bevel. Once you've got it uniform, and a Sharpie will help you do that. You're gonna do that on both sides, and then you're gonna switch. And it's like any other sharpener. You're gonna get progressively finer and finer and finer. And you'll feel it start to get a lot smoother. And this side was already pretty smooth. I worked it over pretty well. Whatever direction you decide to go in, whether you're gonna push or pull, just maintain that same. Stay consistent. And then this is where you're just polishing it now. Technically, I don't know what different grit ceramic is, but 320, 600, and I'm hoping this is around 1200 or so. I'm looking at it, I'm just seeing visually, and I'm feeling of it. Nice and shiny on there. And I mean, you can roll with it at, and you can feel that other side. You can start to feel the burr raising up. So you could roll with it after the 600. But for me, it's got too much flex to be consistent and to be able to call this a precision tool. It just flexes too much. And with steel, I've got some knives that are L-Max steel, and this would take you a month. Working on something like that. This knife's got pretty good steel in it right here. But you know, it's not scary sharp. It's not anything that I'd be afraid to But it's pocket knife sharp. It didn't take me that long, but honestly, I think there's a lot quicker ways. I think there's a lot better ways. This is 49 bucks. It's plastic though. You kind of get what you pay for. I've already lost a rubber footy there, but kind of got some dust on it because I haven't used it as much as I would, because once I got it, I just wasn't that impressed. And I've got other sharpeners and I've got other ways of sharpening knives, but for a sharpener that's going to be a do-it-all, this is not it. I would say I'm probably $49 worth of happy with it, but it's not going to be my everyday sharpener. It's not my go-to. It's not something I run and grab. It was something that I bought that I thought was going to be something it wasn't. All the reviews, everybody just raved it. I mean, it's so great. It's changed the angle. But I think the reviews that I was watching were put out there by Work Sharp employees or something, because I couldn't find really an honest review of somebody saying something bad about it. And I love Work Sharp. Don't get me wrong. I love the belt sander I've got. I even went back and bought the upgraded version, the Ken Onion belt sander version. I think this says Ken Onion Design. He designed the leak. But anyways, I love my Work Sharp products, but this is not high up on the list. This is not one of them. But anyways, so I'll turn the camera around here, and that's all. I don't want to this isn't a pile on and bash everything bad about it. Little pocket knives, its redeeming quality is that I think I can sit down and I can reprofile a bevel on a small pocket knife that's lightweight, and that's kind of where it's gonna find its home in my sharpening, arsenal. Is just it's going to be something that I grab whenever I got to do a small pocket knife, if I'm not already set up doing a pile of knives. Sometimes I'll get the Work Sharp, the belt sander that I have, the belt version out. Sometimes I'll just go through a pile of knives like that. So if I was sitting there doing a pile of knives, I wouldn't use it then either. Like I said, I've had this thing since Christmas, and I try to do kitchen knives. Found out, I found everything I discussed earlier is what I found out through trial and error, and nobody out there was talking about that. So again, sorry, Work Sharp, love your belt sharpener. I do not like your precision sharpener. It was a great idea. It was poorly executed. Every concept on this thing is great. Making it out of plastic is probably where it derailed. It's probably where this idea went wrong, was making it out of plastic, because I love this. This is brilliant. I love the magnetic thing. Brilliant. I love the stone being 3 sides on here. Everything. Great idea. Bad follow through. Bad. I don't know if it was for cost savings or what, but sorry, it doesn't cut it for me. It's not something I want to use to sharpen a work, something that's going to get hard use. Camping knife, a chef knife that I'm using in the kitchen, a broadhead that I'm going to try to take an animal with. I would not want to use this on anything that was important to me. The only thing I can think of that's not important to me is a letter opener. Something I reach for whenever I'm cutting into my mail, or fishing tool, something like that. I'm cutting fishing line with it. But no, sorry. That's my honest opinion. I tried to save it with 1 or 2 positives. Positives is you can find something if you try hard enough that it's good at. But anyways, thanks for watching.